Good afternoon and welcome to Gibb Pool for a Friday dual meet between the visiting Colorado State Rams and the Washington State Cougars. And hi everybody, Davis Hagan here with you from Gibb Pool in Pullman, Washington on the campus of the Washington State Cougars. Last week was a tremendous showing by Washington State, going 2-0. Their Saturday meet against Northern Arizona was a resounding victory, won all 11 events, 168-36. The final score in that one, and on Halloween they took on Denver at Gibb Pool and won 190-72. So they were 2-0 last week, looking to go 1-0 this week against the visiting Colorado State Rams, who dropped their most recent contest on the road against Wyoming back on Halloween. And Washington State 2-0 so far this year, Colorado State 2-1. We'll start with the 200 medley relay. Keep your eyes on lane 4 and 5. Lane 4 will be Washington State's A squad, led by Anna Rockholtz, and Colorado State's A squad, Tess Winery, in lane 5. Lane 2, Caitlin Bluford. Lane 3, Gabby Hall. Lane 6, Jade Castro. Those are the swimmers in the 200 medley relay as we get this meet started between Washington State and Colorado State. Cougars have won 12 straight dual meets. Their last meet loss was January 20th in 2024 versus number 4 USC, where they lost 133-104. So it was a tough, tight contest against the Trojans back in January 2024. And now here we go against Colorado State. Cougars in the white caps, Rams in the green caps. And we're underway in the 200-yard medley relay. Gibb Pool, 25-yard pool, so 8 lengths to go in the relay. Lane 1 is near side on your screen. Lane 8 is at the top. An early lead for Colorado State's A squad and Tess Winery in lane 5 as the next set of swimmers come in for Washington State's A squad. It's Emily Lundgren, their best swimmer. And for Colorado State in lane 5, Claire Wright. Emily Lundgren has taken the lead for Washington State in lane 4. About half a body length in front of Colorado State's Claire Wright as she hits the wall. The next swimmer, Addie Lewis, in. And for Colorado State's A squad, Erin Dawson trying to catch up. In lane 6, it's Washington State's B squad and Skylar Burgach, who's pulled ahead of Colorado State. So Washington State in first and second. And the final swimmer in for Washington State's A squad in the 200 relay, Darcy Revitt. And she is really pulling away. Big gap between her and Washington State's B squad. Melisite in lane 6. Here comes Revitt to the finish line. And Washington State wins the opening event, the 200-yard medley relay, with a time of 1:37.74. A tremendous start for Washington State, who set a pool record against Northern Arizona. And this one is also a new pool record for Gibb Pool. It is just about 1 second too slow to be a new school record, but it is a new pool record. They beat the record by about 2 seconds. And what a start for Washington State with Darcy Revitt really pulling them home in the freestyle at the end. And we move to the very next event, the women's 1,000-yard freestyle. In lane 2, it's Sophie Hay for Washington State. Lane 3, Margot Hauser for Colorado State, Avery Bulkley. In lane 4 for Washington State. Lane 5 is Quinn Worley for Colorado State, Tatum Janning in lane 6 for the Cougars. The Rams have Delaney Engel in lane 7, and lane 8 is Vivian Nett. So we'll have 40 lengths so we can settle in and enjoy some swimming between the Rams and the Cougars in this next event. Washington State, the score 15-2, advantage Cougars after that first event. The new pool record set by the A squad by Washington State. Now swimmers are up and ready. And we're underway in the 1,000-yard freestyle. When Colorado State took on Wyoming on Halloween, they came in second with Quinn Worley, and her time was 10 minutes, 38 seconds, and 30.36. So still a long way to go in this second event. Washington State, on the other hand, when they took the 1,000-yard freestyle against Northern Arizona, Lauren Willey had a final time of about 10:09:20, which is roughly 30 seconds faster than Quinn Worley for Colorado State. Tight contest between three Cougars. Tatum Janning trying to be first to the wall. Lane 2, Sophie Hay also out to a good start. Avery Bulkley staying in the mix as well. Still a long way to go in the 1,000 freestyle. Colorado State also had finishers 4 and 5 versus Wyoming on Halloween. Washington State was dominant in the entire meet against Northern Arizona, as Tatum Janning is in front in lane 6 near the top of your picture. But Washington State had the first 4 finishers in the 1,000-yard freestyle, with Willie, Janning, Net, and Anna Warte against Northern Arizona. That was a meet that was all Washington State. Cougars have won the last 23 out of 25 events to start this year. So a really hot start for the Cougar squad that was 8-0 last year in dual meets. This year 2-0 already. So they've got a lot of talent in the pool, and they've displayed it so far this season, and already off to a great start against Colorado State after winning the opening event. Again, Washington State in the white swim caps, Colorado State in the green swim caps. We'll see who starts to pull away. Washington State definitely out in front. In lane 6, Tatum Janning starting to assert herself. And Avery Bulkley in lane 4. Right behind them in lane 3, Margot Hauser for Colorado State, who had a time of 10:54:22 against Wyoming on Halloween. Sophie Hay in lane 2, starting to close the gap. And now it's 3 Cougars out in front, trying to go 1, 2, 3 in this event. Sophie Hay at the bottom of your picture really starting to turn things on, as we're about 3.5 minutes into this event. The time to watch for is around 10 minutes, where Lauren Willey had a final time of 10:09:20 against Northern Arizona. The pool Gibb record for the 1,000 freestyle is 9:56:02, set by Lauren Baker of UCLA back in 2014. Tatum Janning still in front. The school record for Washington State in the 1,000 freestyle is 9:47:19, set by Erin McCleave in 2007. So it's held for quite some time. The score still holds at 15-2, even though Colorado State had a toe over the edge. Not a great way to start the event, or the meet for that matter. Tatum Janning has built up a nice, solid lead for Washington State in lane 6. Sophie Hay, at the bottom of your screen, pulling closer. Only one swimmer for Colorado State, and Margot Hauser in lane 3. As the camera pans, there are hardly any Rams in the picture, but she's putting up a great fight to try to stay with this really talented Washington State squad. This is a 40 length event here in the 1,000 free. The opening event went the way of Washington State's A squad, followed by Colorado State's A squad. Darcy Revitt really pulled away. Around halfway through the 1,000 free, one of the longest events of the day. The next event will be the 200 free. The next closest longest event will be the 500 free. That'll be in the second block of events after our first break. That'll come after the 50 free, but we still got a long way to go in this dual meet between the Rams and the Cougars. Tatum Jennings clearly out in front as we've hit the halfway point, or more than the halfway point. We've got about 15 lengths left. The real race right now is for that third place spot between Margot Hauser and Avery Bulkley. Hauser for Colorado State, Bulkley for Washington State. It's a great sight for Cougar fans where the camera pans that there's only two Cougars in the picture. Jennings more than a full body length ahead of Sophie Hay. And Bulkley has pulled in front just a little bit in front of Margot Hauser. Sophie Hay in second, Jennings in first, Bulkley touched the wall in third, and then Hauser at fourth. They hit the wall at 31, and here comes Jennings, who is starting to become all alone. Remind you of the school record for Washington State in the 1,000 freestyle. 9:47.19 is the time to beat. The Gibb pool record time to beat is 9:56.02. We've reached length 33. Eight and a half minutes through the 1,000 freestyle, and Tatum Jennings pulling in front. She's one of 4 Cougars to go to the Open Water Championships in Long Beach, with Avery Bulkley, Sophie Hay, Tatum Jennings, and Vivian Nett going earlier this year. She was 6th in the women's 5K, the time of 1:03.39. As we close in on the final couple of lengths. Tatum Jennings dominant so far. Sophie Hay in second. Colorado State closing in. Hauser and Berkeley tied in third. And Tatum Jennings get to the wall, and she touches in first. Tatum Jennings with a 10:086. What a performance by Tatum Janning. Not quite a Gibb Pool record, but first place nonetheless for Tatum Janning. Lauren Willie against Northern Arizona had a 10:09.20 time. She gets 10:86, so 9 seconds better than her teammate against Northern Arizona. What a start for the Cougars. Hay in second, Bulkley in third, so Washington State goes 1, 2, and 3 as they were in the lead the whole way, and they finished strong. So 2 events in a row claimed by Washington State. So it goes Janning, Hay, and Bulkley as we get set for the third event, the 200-yard freestyle. Lane 2, Cecilia Renlund for Washington State. Lane 3 for Colorado State, Emma Lindstrom. Lane 4 for the Cougars, Lauren Willie. Lane 5 for Colorado State, Erin Dawson. Lane 6 for the Cougars, Isabel Parrish. And lane 7 for Colorado State, Mia Axelman. Cougars off to a good start, claiming the first 2 events. In the 200-yard medley relay, the A squad pulled away thanks to Darcy Revitt's performance in the end. And the 1,000-yard freestyle, Tatum Janning was dominant. So a good start for Washington State, visiting Colorado State Rams, still trying to get closer to these Cougars that have been swimming very effectively here at Gibb Pool. And we're underway in the 200-yard freestyle. Much quicker events from here on out. Just 8 lengths to go in the 200 free. So the now new score is 31-5. Washington State in control of the event early, but still a long way to go. We've got 14 events, only finished 2 of them. Tight race so far between all contestants. 6 swimmers in the pool in the 200-yard freestyle. Colorado State, Erin Dawson finished 3rd against Wyoming in their last meet. For the Cougars, in their last meet in the 200 free, Darcy Revitt was 1st, Ariel Wang 2nd, and Avery Bulkley 3rd, so they went 1, 2, and 3. Lauren Willie in lane 4, currently in front. And Willie in lane 4, still in first. Behind her is Parrish, also for Washington State, and then Dawson for the Rams. Cougars went 1, 2, and 3 in the 1,000-yard freestyle. Dawson, right now the only hope, and she touches the wall in 3rd. So Willie gets 1st, Parrish in 2nd, and Dawson in 3rd. As we wrap up the 200-yard freestyle, Washington State 2 out of the top 3 once again. Great start to a meet. It's 3 first-place finishes for the Cougars so far, picking up right where they left off against Denver and Northern Arizona. So Lauren Willie with a 1:49.40 time in the 200 free. The pool record was 1:30.92, so not quite there. As we get ready to go in event number 4, the 100-yard backstroke. Lane 1 is Evie Munz for Colorado State. Victoria Pelica for Washington State. For Colorado State in lane 3, Sophia Hemingway. Lane 4 for the Cougars, Anna Rockholtz. Lane 5 for the Rams, Tess Winteray. Lane 6 for the Cougars, Jade Castro. Lane 7 for the Rams, Gabby Hall. And rounding out in lane 8 for the Cougars is Caitlin Bluford. So Lauren Willie gets first, Parrish was second, and Dawson third. As we get ready for the 100-yard backstroke, just 4 lengths down Gibb Pool. Swimmers to their marks, and we're underway. So another great start for Washington State. Colorado State, this is where they shine in the backstroke. They went 1, 2, and 3 against Wyoming with 54.96, 58.02, and 58.12. Washington State's Anna Rockholtz is their best backstroke swimmer. She had a first place finish against Northern Arizona, followed by Castro and Palica. So Rockholtz is in the lead for Washington State as she hits the wall. In the lead in lane 4, but it's a tight one between Rockholtz and Winteray. To the wall, Winteray beats her. Colorado State claims their first event. So Winteray gets the advantage, closing fast in the end. Great job for Colorado State to really get themselves on the board. It was 44-11 coming into this event. Tess Winteray gets the win in lane 5 with a 53.47 time. It was close coming down to the end. Second place is Rockholtz and third place Castro. So that is the event that Colorado State shines in the backstroke. Winteray won the last event, 54.96 time. So Colorado State claims an event, and Washington State loses their first event since the Denver meet. They went 12 of 14 versus Denver and 11 out of 11 against Northern Arizona. They take 3 out of 4 to start this event, to start this meet for the Cougars. A new score, 52-22. As we get the 100 breaststroke. There is going to be 2 heats in this event. Maddie Geyer in lane 1 for the Rams. Catherine Jide at lane 2 for the Cougars. Ellie Kennington, lane 3 for Colorado State. Lane 4 for the Cougars, Emily Lundgren, the all-star swimmer for the Cougs. Lane 5 is Claire Wright for the Rams. Ashlyn Hernandez, lane 6 for the Cougs. And for the Rams to round it out, Margot Hauser in lane 7. A good early start for Emily Lundgren in Washington State in lane 4, and she is a joy to watch in the pool. Emily Lundgren in first place. She had her first touch at 27.96, 3 seconds in front of everyone else. And here goes Lundgren into the home stretch in this 100 breaststroke. And Emily Lundgren taps the wall at 59.94. Hernandez in second and Wright in third. So Claire Wright gets third place for the Rams, but it goes 1 and 2 for the Cougars. Emily Lundgren, the winner in event number 5, the 100-yard breaststroke with the 59.54 time. She was so quick, 3 seconds ahead of second place. So Emily Lundgren now 1 event win away from 50 in her career. As the Heat 2 swimmers get ready to go in lane 2, Lorelei Killerin for Washington State. Back Rivera also for the Cougs in lane 4. And another Washington State swimmer in lane 6, Jenna Kistler. So all Cougars They got the pool to themselves. Just a matter of if they can get close to Emily Lundgren, which has been tough to do. She's been so great in her career. 2024 Olympic trial qualifier for the Washington State Cougars and the Mountain West Swimmer of the Year last year. As Heat 2 gets ready to go, the score 52-22. We won't know 1, 2, and 3 exactly until after this heat, but probably safe to say that Emily Lundgren can rest easy knowing that that 59.94 time will be untouchable by the Heat 2 swimmers. Emily Lundgren was close to beating her own record at Gibb Pool, but just a bit shy. Her record was 59.45. Mac Rivera in lane 4, currently in front. We come down into the final stretch of this 100 breaststroke here in Heat 2. So Lundgren will get first place. And lane 4, Rivera gets the win in that Heat 2, but the top 3 from Heat 1 will earn points. Again, Emily Lundgren just flying through the water. She's just on another level. As Mac Rivera gets the better of Lorelei Killeran and Jenna Kistler, but not quite enough time to get on the top 3 from the 100 breaststroke. And we move quickly to the 200-yard butterfly. This one also going to have 2 heats with it. Now in lane 2, Sawyer Yana for Washington State. For Colorado State, Mavi Isman Nahir. In lane 3, lane 4 for the Cougars, Yalcin. Lane 5 for the Rams is Schmidt. And in lane 6 for the Cougars, Wang, and 8 for the Cougars, Morabito. As we get set for the 200-yard butterfly. So 8 lengths in this event. Cougars off to a great start. 4 out of 5 events so far. With a new score 66-27. As we're underway in the butterfly. As they come to the wall on the first full set, Yalcin in first place for Washington State with a time of 26:59. Second is Wang, in third Morabito. So again, 1, 2, 3 Cougars. Score updated to 66-27. As Yalcin in lane 4 in the middle of your picture, starting to pull away, about half a body length in front. She gets a good push off the wall. But lane 6, Ariel Wang starting to close the gap a little bit. So Yalcin in front still in the 200 butterfly. Yalcin still in front, and it's a race between her and Wang. Washington State happy to see both their swimmers in the top 2. And in third place, We'll see exactly who it is when it comes there, and it's Yana in third. So Yalcin wins it, Wang gets second, and Sawyer Yana for Washington State comes in late to get third, but Yalcin wins the event, and Washington State now 5 out of the first 6 going their way. She finishes with a time of 201.98. So we'll see 2 more Cougars coming up, so at least secured first, second, and third. We'll see if the names will change, as we'll have lane 4, Clara Anderson, and in lane 6, Hannah Warte, both Washington State Coug swimmers. Still in the 200 butterfly. Underway between Anderson and Warte in heat 2. Yalcin at a great finishing time, 2:09 for Washington State. The Gibb pool record is a resounding 156.68. That one not touched in this event. They set 5 pool records against Northern Arizona in the 200 medley, 200 free, the 50 free, 200 IM, and the 400 free. Anderson and Warte neck and neck. Slight advantage for Anderson in lane 4. But as close as it can get between these 2 competitors here in heat 2 of the 200-yard butterfly. In event 6 of 14 on the day here at Gibb Pool between Washington State and Colorado State. Slight advantage for Warte now. The next event will be one of the most exciting events in all sports, is the 50-yard freestyle. Hannah Warte currently in front in lane 6. Approaching the wall, and the touch time at 2:06.91 for Warte. Great showing by Hannah Warte. And Washington State claims the event. Claiming 5 out of the first 6 events as we get set for the women 50-yard freestyle. So Yalcin with a good victory for Washington State, as here are the swimmers for the 50 freestyle. Ashlyn Hembry in lane 1, Skylar Burgach in lane 2, Azalea Shepard lane 3, Darcy Revert in 4, Lexi Tritley in 5, Barbara Milsty in lane 6, Mia Axelman lane 7, and Addie Lewis in lane 8. The new score, Washington State in front, 79-32. That was Malika Yalcin's first career win in that last event in the 200-yard butterfly. And here we go in the 50-yard freestyle. It'll be one trip down to the other end of Gibb Pool and then back, and we'll have our winner after that. As we're underway in the 50 freestyle. Lexi Tritley was the winner for Colorado State against Wyoming. As we come down the stretch, who's it gonna be? Washington State lane 4. Revit gets the win. What a performance by Darcy Revett so far. She anchored the medley relay to get the first event win, and she wins the 50 freestyle event with a time of 22:49. Not quite. Well, 22:49, a new Gibb pool record for Darcy Revett. She beats the time of 22:53 set by Molesti. What a performance so far for Washington State. They've been dominant early against Colorado State. Now we've reached our first break here on the first Friday of November with Washington State leading Colorado State. 7 events down, 7 to go from Pullman, Washington, here at Gibb Pool on the campus of Washington State University. Davis Hagan here with you for this dual meet on the first Friday of November. Washington State up 95 to 35 over Colorado State as we begin the second half of this meet with the 100-yard freestyle. As we take a look at the swimmers, Emma Lindstrom in lane 1, Celia Renlund in lane 2, Celia Shepard lane 3, Darcy Revitt in 4, and 5 is Lexi Tritley, lane 6, Barbara Millisty, and lane 7, Mia Axelman, and lane 8, Catherine Jide. Washington State has won 29 out of their first 32 events this year in duels. And if you want to know just how dominant they were last Saturday against NAU, the final score of that one was 168 to 36. Colorado State 35 points so far, so if this was the same result, they'd only allow one more point from now until the end of the meet, and we're just halfway through. So we're underway in the 100 freestyle. Washington State 95 to 35, a 60-point advantage for the Cougars, and an advantage to start the 100 freestyle. Revitt in first with Millisty and Tritley. The Rams in third. Millicite a distant second. Revitt pulling ahead. She's an absolute speed demon in the pool. And she touches the wall at 48.75. Another first place finish for Darcy Revitt, who set the new Gibb Pool record in the 50-yard freestyle. She wins this event for Washington State. As far as Heat 1 goes, we'll have Heat 2 with 2 Washington State Cougars. So Darcy Revitt gets to the wall first. Close to her own record of 48.87 in the 100 freestyle at Gibb Pool that she set against Denver earlier this year. So lanes 4 and 6 with Hannah Huarte and Lorelei Killeran. Huarte in lane 4, Killeran in 6, both swimmers for Washington State. So the Cougars will claim another event. We'll see if the names change at the top of the leaderboards as we're underway in Heat 2 of the 100-yard freestyle. Early lead for Huarte on the first length. So Darcy Revitt setting another pool record, beating her own record that she set against Denver. So a couple records being broken by Darcy Revitt in the freestyle, as Hannah Huarte has pulled with a big lead coming down to the final stretch of the 100 freestyle. She won't beat Revitt's time, but she gets to the wall first in heat number 2 with a 53.19, and Killeran yet to get to the wall, and she touches with a minute 2:35. So another great showing for Washington State. Darcy Revitt off to a great start, 2 pool records so far in the 50 and the 100 free as we get ready for the 200-yard backstroke. So again, a new pool record in the 100 freestyle for Darcy Revitt. Cougars just continue to be dominant early in this season. As you take a look at the swimmers for the 200 backstroke. Rockholtz, Hemingway, Castro, Winteray, Palika, Engel, and Bluford, the swimmers in the 200 backstroke. New score is 109 to 40. Washington State in front as we get swimmers in the water here at Gibb Pool for the 200 backstroke. Underway in the 200 backstroke. And Washington State up 109 to 40, claiming 7 out of the first 8 events after the first length. Lane 4 and Jade Castro for Washington State off to a good start. A close second. Winner for Colorado State. Neck and neck between Winner and Castro. In the middle of your picture in lanes 4 and 5. Narrow advantage for Castro. In front. Her and Winner will hit the 3/4 mark in this 200 backstroke, coming down to the final stretch. Winner pulling in front. And a good bounce off the wall for the Rams. Winner in front of Castro by a half body length. Coming to the wall. And turning back, another great push. First place for Colorado State. She's got such great leg strength to get off the wall. It's almost halfway through Gibb Pool before she finally has to come up for air. Wineri in the lead for Colorado State. She touches first at the time of 1:57.32. In second is Castro, and Rockholtz for Washington State in third. Colorado State claims their second event of the meet. Tess Winnery with a great performance. A couple seconds ahead. 3 seconds, the difference between Winnery and Castro. As we get ready for the 200 breaststroke. So, new score 118 to 50. Keep your eyes on Emily Lundgren in the breaststroke in lane 4 for Washington State, going for her 50th career win. It would be a great milestone. So the new score 118 to 50 in favor of Washington State. But again, lane 4 for Washington State, Emily Lundgren, one of the best swimmers in the country, Mountain West Swimmer of the Year last year. Got a chance to go for 50 career wins in the 200-yard breaststroke. As the swimmers take their marks. Emily Lundgren off and away with Ariel Wang in lane 2 for the Cougs. Ellie Kennington, lane 3. Claire Wright in lane 5 for the Rams. Ashlyn Hernandez for Washington State, lane 6. Maddie Geyer, lane 7 for Colorado State. And the Coug swimmer Mac Rivera in lane 8. So Emily Lundgren in the middle of your picture, off to a great start so far. Trying to get to career win number 50. 2 lengths through in the 200 breaststroke. Her own pool record is 2:08.78, set back in January of this year. She holds the school record for the breaststroke at 2:06.18, set in March this year. Lundgren out to a great start. As we will get official placings so far. Lundgren in first by a big margin, then Hernandez, and then Claire Wright for Colorado State. So it's Washington State in the top 2, then Colorado State in third. Lundgren with a big lead. She's a minute 20 into this event. In the 200-yard breaststroke. Lundgren building a huge lead. Hernandez touches second, Wright still in third, followed by Wang in fourth, but it's all Emily Lundgren in lane 4. Closing in on the final length for Emily Lundgren. The mark to beat, 2:06 for the school record, not going to get that. 2:08 and 2:09, so she doesn't set a new pool record, but she gets to 50 career wins. Emily Lundgren in the 200-yard breaststroke, and she's all smiles at the end of that one. Washington State dominant again, and it's because of Emily Lundgren, who continues to impress and set new highs for herself and the program. 50 career wins for Emily Lundgren. Second place was Hernandez, and third place for Colorado State was Wright. So they get into the top 3 again, but the fans celebrate 50 career wins for Emily Lundgren. What a moment for Lundgren from Chula Vista, California. The next event, number 11, is the 500-yard freestyle. In lane 2 is Tatum Janning for Washington State. Lane 3, Quinn Worley for the Rams. Lauren Willey in lane 4 for the Cougs. Lane 5 is Aaron Dawson. Lane 6, Avery Bulkley. Lane 7, Monica Schmidt. And lane 8, Sophie Hay. Alternating Rams and Cougars in event number 11. So new score 133 to 54 as we're underway in the 500-yard freestyle. Which is 20 lengths here at Gibb Pool, the 25-yard pool. So far, first place, Lauren Willey, followed by Dawson and then Janning. So again, Cougars have 2 in the top 3, but Dawson and Colorado State in second place. And Colorado State, the green caps, Washington State in the white caps. Lauren Willey in lane 4, the middle of your picture, in front. But keep your eye on Tatum Janning in lane 2. Just trying to make things interesting with their teammate. Colorado State still in third with Dawson, but now it's Washington State in position 1 and 2. As that's length number 5 for Lauren Willey. In the 500 freestyle, Tatum Janning won the freestyle event against Northern Arizona with a final time of 4:59.07. It was Cougars 1 through 5 in that event. That was the big one that really put them over the top against Northern Arizona last Saturday. Lauren Willey just continues to pull away. A couple of remarkable swimmers for Washington State. Willey, Revitt, Lundgren, part of this tremendous Washington State Cougars squad that continues to amaze. They've won 12 dual meets in a row, and they're well out in front in this one, 133 to 54. Willey still in first place. Then Janning and Dawson, so it's still Cougars 1 and 2, Colorado State in third. Fourth place is Hay. There's another Washington State swimmer in lane 8. .500 freestyle record time here at Gibb Pool, set by Bonnie Brandon of Arizona back in 2014. Time of 4:50.14. The school record for Washington State is 4:43.35. Willie in length 13, way out in front. Lauren Willie from Oswego, Illinois, the senior for Washington State. Almost all alone in the picture. Dawson and Janning trying to close that gap, but Willie keeps making the gap bigger. She's going one way while other swimmers going the other. That's how you know she's been impressive. Lauren Willie in first place now. Janning touches, and Dawson in third. She is all alone in the pool. That's length 17. So 3 to go for Willie. So when she hits here, she'll have to go down and then back. .500 freestyle school record again, 4:43.35. The Gibb Pool record, 4:50.14. She won't have the school record, but she has 5 seconds to get to the pool record as she hits with 4:50.88, just barely over the Gibb Pool record time of 4:50.14, but great performance nonetheless from Lauren Willie, who earns another event victory for Washington State. Second place, Tatum Janning, and third place, Dawson. Cougars, again, 2 out of the top 3 swimmers. So Dawson gets third for the Rams. And then Tatum Janning, who won the event against Northern Arizona, gets second. But Lauren Willie was all alone in that event. So we head to event 12 of the day. The 100-yard butterfly. Hembry, Lewis, Munz, Parrish, Shepard, Brugach, Nahir, Isman, and Yalcin, the swimmers for the 100-yard butterfly. Just 4 lengths at Gibb Pool. And then we'll have heat 2 after that with 3 Washington State swimmers. The new score, 148-58. Cougars in front of the Rams for their 3rd straight home meet. After this, Washington State will go to Iowa City, Iowa from November 18th to November 21 to take on a multitude of teams at the Hawkeye Invitational in Iowa City, Iowa. And they don't come back till late January to take on Idaho on senior night at Gibb Pool. That's a Friday late in January, so it's a long time between then and now. So the fans showing up and big support for this Washington State team at home. As we are underway in the 100-yard butterfly. Event 12 of 14 on the day. Good start again for the Cougars. So halfway through, Parrish in first, Lewis in second, Nahir Isman in third. Isabel Parrish still in first place. She hits the wall, turns around, comes back down for the final length. Parrish in first. Can she get to the wall? It is Isabel Parrish in first, Lewis in second, and Burgach comes in third. Washington State again, 1, 2, and 3. Isabel Parrish in lane 4, your winner in the 100-yard butterfly in heat number 1. .54.93 time for Parrish. And heat 2 coming up in the 100-yard butterfly. Soriana, Clara Anderson, and Michael Morabito. As they take their marks, getting ready to go. Washington State, big lead so far, 148-58 over Colorado State. Underway in heat 2 of the 100 butterfly. A strong performance from Isabel Parrish. Finished in first in heat 1. Who will capture heat 2 with 3 Cougars in the pool. They've reached the halfway point. Clara Anderson in front. And a tie for second at 27.12 with Yana and Morabito. But Anderson continues to pull away as she's down the home stretch of the 100 butterfly. Powering her way to the wall. She claims victory in heat 2. Followed by Yana and Morabito. Anderson with a time of 56.26. Washington State in front after 12 events. We'll have 2 more coming up after this break from Gibb Pool. Washington State in front of Colorado State, 164-61, as we have our final two events coming up. It's the 200-yard individual medley and then the 200-yard freestyle relay. Cougars have been loud and proud so far here at Gibb Pool. Emily Lundgren getting 50 career wins. The crowd went berserk. And she's going to be competing again in the middle of your screen here in the individual medley, going for career win 51. It's Claire Wright in lane 1 for Colorado State. Ashlyn Hernandez in lane 2 for the Cougars. For the Rams, Monica Schmidt in 3. Emily Lundgren, lane 4. Erin Dawson in lane 5 for the Rams. Ariel Wang, lane 6 for the Cougs. Lane 7 for the Rams, Margot Hauser. And lane 8 for the Cougars, Jenna Kistler. Emily Lundgren, the star performer for Washington State. Getting in the right mindset for the individual medley. 200 yards here at the 25-yard Gibb Pool. So 8 lengths. Cougars 164, Colorado State 61. Cougars so far 2-0 this year. They went 8-0 last year in dual meets. And the year before that, they won the last 2 dual meets of the year, so they won 12 straight. Well on their way to making it 13 in a row. As the swimmers get ready to take their marks in the 200-yard individual medley. Again, just 2 events remaining. Cougars have won 10 out of 12 events so far, including 2 pool records set in freestyle events by Darcy Revitt in the 50 and the 100. And we're underway in the 200-yard individual medley. Again, lane 4. Keep your eye on Emily Lundgren. She's off to a hot start again, and she's got such great power in the pool, pulling ahead from the pack already. Maddie Geyer is in lane 1 in this individual medley instead of Claire Wright for Colorado State. Emily Lundgren blasting away. Into the backstroke. The middle of your screen, Emily Lundgren. Full body length in front. And here's where she really shines, off the push off of the wall. Into the breaststroke. Second place is Wang for Washington State. Third place, Dawson for Colorado State. Seems like every event today, Washington State is in the top 3. Emily Lundgren in first in this 200 IM. The record in the pool was set on November 1st, which was last Saturday, against Northern Arizona at 2 minutes and 47 hundredths. Into the freestyle. Lundgren well out in front. 13 seconds to try to get there for a new pool record that she set herself last Saturday. Coming down the final stretch for Lundgren, reaching to the wall, and she's got it. A new pool record for Emily Lundgren again. Back-to-back meets with a new pool record, 51 career wins. What a performance by Lundgren. Second place Wang and third place Hernandez. So Washington State goes 1, 2, 3 again, and Emily Lundgren with a new record for Washington State. Emily Lundgren with 2.07 as we go to our final event of the day in the 200-yard freestyle relay. 180-64, the new score. Cougars racking up points. Keep your eye on lanes 4 and 5. Milicite will lead things off for the A squad for Washington State. For the Rams, their A squad in lane 5 as well. Cougars have B squad in lane 6, which can compete heavily with their A squad. So Colorado State in lanes 3 and 5. Washington State brings their C squad into this event in lane 2. So the final event of the day, Washington State 180, Colorado State 64. As we are underway in the 200-yard freestyle relay. Good start for Washington State again. They've got 3 Whitecaps out there to just the 2 for the Rams. It's pedal to the metal early as Parrish dives in. Good start from Molesti. Addie Lewis waiting for relay team A for Washington State. Addie Lewis into the pool. And then the anchor of this event, Darcy Revitt, who set 2 records already today in the freestyle, has a chance to bring it all home and wrap things up for Washington State in a resounding performance against the Rams. Lane 6, Washington State's B squad is in second as Darcy Revitt enters the pool. Cougars with a huge lead, not only in the meet, but in this event as Revitt turns to come home. Down the final stretch of this meet, Darcy Revitt heading to the wall. Washington State claims victory again. 12 out of 14 events. Darcy Revitt with another stellar performance with a 1:30.96 time in the 200-yard freestyle relay. It is 4/100ths of a second away from the new pool record. It was on Halloween, that was 1:30.92. That was 1:30.96, so not quite, but a tremendous performance from Washington State to get the meet victory over Colorado State. So 3 straight home meets for the Cougars and 3 straight wins. They beat Denver, Northern Arizona, and Colorado State in one of their only 2 Mountain West Conference meets this year. This obviously being a future Pac-12 matchup with Washington State and Colorado State. They take on Wyoming on January 24th on the road in their second of 2 Mountain West Conference meets. They don't come back home till January 30th to Gibb Pool to take on Idaho. Their next event will be November 18th to the 21st in Iowa. The final score, 195-66. Washington State wins 12 out of 14 events. 2 new pool records set by Darcy Revitt in the 50 and the 100 freestyle. Tess Swinieri had a great performance for Colorado State. She was the 2-time winner in both backstroke events for the Rams. That's where they shine, but Washington State in the freestyle really pulled things away, and they get the win 195-66 over the Rams on the first Friday of November. Well, that'll do it for our coverage here at Gibb Pool. The final score, Washington State 195, Colorado State 66. For the entire crew here, I'm Davis Hagan saying so long from Pullman. You've been watching WSU Swimming on YouTube.